this emotion, inshallah. But just to fill you in between each of the gaps between the reciters, as it is the istishhad, the martyrdom of Imam al-Hassan, we will speak very briefly between the reciters, inshallah, about Imam al-Hassan. So for now, I leave you with the following: Kareem Ahlulbayt, one of the titles of Imam al-Hassan, and inshallah we'll go through this after the next poet comes up. And the next poet is one that is known to all of you, I'm sure, one who has really furthered the poetry in the language of English and has created masterpieces that have caused tears and tears upon tears. And without further ado, I leave it to Nouri Sardar to come to the podium.
Assalamu ala al-Hussein wa ala Ali ibn al-Hussein wa ala awlad al-Hussein wa ala ashab al-Hussein. The first poem I'm going to read describes the day of Ashura through the letters of the Ahlulbayt. Though indeed, to describe such a day, there are not enough letters. In describing that day, the Ahlulbayt shatters. To describe such a day, there are not enough letters. In describing that day, the Ahlulbayt shatters. A is for Ashura, and little else matters. B is for the back broken by the fall of a brother. C is the care of the orphans left there without care. Despair gripping our hearts, asking where is our father? Echoes of cries as enemies into their eyes stare. Father, come back, protect your daughters from the fire. G is forgive, and on that day how much was given? G is forgive, and on that day how much was given? H is for the hands that from Abbas were taken. I is for I'll never drink, and water his return. Justice didn't know someone like Hussein's blood bearer. Kinds are of many, but Ali Akbar was one of a kind. Kinds are of many, but Ali Akbar was one of a kind. Layla wonders how his absence does not leave her blind. Mothers that day lost sons, so salvation they'd find. Nothing comes close to a son given by his mother. The O is for one, and there is one pain that breaks the heart. Pure was the baby's neck by an arrow to part. Pure is the baby's neck by an arrow to part. Hassan was just like this. Hassan was just like this when from his mother he depart. R is for a bab and a mother whose eyes saw horror. S is the stranger through the world in Karbala. T is the thirsty, murdered thirsty with no water. U is unburied for days on his hood raised upon a spear. Verily Husain was killed, the thirsty stranger. Verily Husain was killed, the thirsty stranger. Where are my brothers, sisters and sons? Where are they? Where are my brothers, sisters and sons? Where are they? Where? X is all I see on the names that no more appear. Years are all that I know, as my minutes are now like years. Zaynab stands without anyone calling for her father. Zaynab stands without anyone calling for her father. That was not a salawat worthy of this majlis. Please give me a salawat to the loudest of your voices. Salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. My next poem is directed to an enemy that feels that their presence in the Middle East this year will stop us from visiting our Master Hussein alayhi salam. An enemy that feels that their threats to behead us and kill us and attack our shrines is one that brings fear into our hearts. What they don't know is that we have a secret, and his name is Abul Fadl Abbas alayhi salam. So to them I say, make us thirsty. Make us thirsty, O enemy, because when from thirst we suffer, Abbas brings us water. When from thirst we suffer, Abbas brings us water. Wanting blood to flow rivers in our country,
You broke through our borders, wanting tragedy, thirsty for blood, like for peace we're thirsty. Thirsty for blood, like for peace we are thirsty. But know that challenges your swords, our bravery. Remember when weeps for you your family. Remember when weeps for you your family. Guarding Iraq is Abbas, son of Ali. Guarding Iraq is Abbas, son of Ali. A guardian fears him lions. When you bring to us war, Abbas brings us water. You all know Karbala's story. You all know Karbala's story. Hearts to it bend. If you enter Karbala, you'll know its end. If you enter Karbala, you'll know its end. When Abbas to bring water, Hussein would send. Abbas became the angel of death's best friend. On that day, men watched moon upon the earth descend. On that day, men watched the moon upon the earth descend. And if a soul needed death, to it Abbas would tend. It shall repeat, should us you greet. And we cannot falter, for Abbas brings us water. You wanted to know the secrets that we kept. You wanted to know the secrets that we kept. Al-Abbas is the Shia's greatest secret. Al-Abbas is the Shia's greatest secret. He guarded us when beneath tyrants we slept. He provided us when for wishes we wept. In his eyes, the river had owed him a debt. When he wanted lives, souls from their bodies leapt. He feels no fear and no despair. We're led by this leader. Abbas brings us water. Our actions bring back shades of our ancestors. Our actions bring back shades of our ancestors. Our grandmothers are Zaynabs, Hinds are your grandmothers. Our grandmothers are Zaynabs, Hinds your grandmothers. You're the sons of mothers who feed on livers, whilst no men see the shadows of our mothers. Your fathers bowed to idols and ran from wars. Our fathers destroyed idols and won Badrs. The truth is so clear, we have no fear, and if ever we wither, Abbas brings us water. For this is one country, and we are united. This is one country, and we are united. Sunni and Shia by Abbas are guarded. You realized just with whom your swords contended, when with our blood Zaynab's shrine we defended. By the battles with our kind you are haunted. We have Abbas and lions he has hunted. Souls from men tear just from his glare. When you take the river, Abbas brings us water. You threatened Karbala, and this threat shall be your last. You threatened Karbala, and this threat shall be your last. With chest beating in Baqi' we'll break our fast. With chest beating in Baqi', inshallah, we'll break our fast. You can't make those bleed, those who every year bleed first. You can't make those bleed, those who every year bleed first. The sores that made our heads bleed now have a thirst shared by Abbas. So learn from the past. The air you breathe thins out. The air you breathe thins out, and those black hearts shall burst. Our hereafter is Karbala, whilst hell is your hereafter. For Abbas brings us water. Hell is your hereafter. Abbas brings us water. And if you agree with me, send blessings on Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Indeed, we are many weeks away, moved on from the day of Ashura. But I want you now just to return to the day of Ashura, just for the few minutes that I read this poem, inshallah. I want you to focus on a very specific period of Ashura, a very specific few minutes, you can call it, where Imam Hussein alayhi salam is left alone on the plains of Karbala, and there is no one beside him. All he sees in front of him are 30,000 enemies and the bodies of his brothers and his family and his soldiers all little on the ground. There's no one left with him. He looks for Abbas. Abbas isn't there. He looks for Ali al-Akbar. Ali Akbar isn't there. Habib, Burair, Zuhair, none of them are there. And he says, by himself, with no one there, he says, now my day has come, and I have no one. Is there anyone to come and help me? I'm Hussein. Of the 5, I'm the last of the 5th. Today, I have lost so much to Yazid's wrath. From the grief that races in me, I'm out of breath, but I know I can't give up until I embrace death. I look right and left. There is no one left, and no one has left to come and help me. I stand as one, stands before me 30,000. By the size of their army, my daughters are frightened. By the size of their army, my daughters are frightened. I'm with the truth, and yet I'm left abandoned. It's as if to be killed lonely I am destined. I look at the tents, my sister laments, crying, where are they to come and help me? I stand as a mountain, but as lonely as its peak. I stand as a mountain, but as lonely as its peak. I call out Zuhair and Burair, wishing they'd speak, seeking to support me. My tears like rivers leak. Wishing for warmth, I place my cheek upon John's cheek. Habib, where are you? Wahab has gone too. Why don't you return to come and help me? I wish the sun of today had not risen. By how many things today have I been shaken? Just as earth shakes when on it something has fallen, the fall of my brother has left my back broken. No one understands except these stained sands. I'd give him my hands to come and help me. My eyes yearn to see my grandfather Muhammad. My eyes yearn to see my grandfather Muhammad. I knew one that looked like him. I knew someone that looked like him, but to swords he was fed. Yearning to see my son again, I look ahead, but I can't recognize him from all the blood that he's bled. That is not Ali. Where is his beauty? His wounds prevent him to come and help me. I look up at the sun that perches in the sky. Oh sun, you've made me so thirsty that tears I cannot cry. Why does the river not rise up to come and help me? Why does the river not rise up and quench us? Why? I am strangled by the air that by itself is dry. I am strangled by the air that itself is dry. All I see is heat, as with death I meet. Is there no water to come and help me? I have a pain, and I swear that this pain stops time. I have a pain, and I swear that this pain stops time. I have a 6-month in my arms. What was his crime? I have a 6-month in my arms. What was his crime? His eyes are so lifeless that in them I can see mine. His eyes are so lifeless that in them I can see mine. Oh my Lord, I've lost too much for one lifetime. Oh my Lord, I've lost too much for one lifetime. My heart in two rips, blood from his lips drips. Where is the gravedigger to come and help me? The house of God held captive here in Karbala. My daughters run around me, strangled by their fear. And when the limbs of this house from its body they tear, they will find the head of Husain raised upon a spear. The Kaaba shall fall as its women call, where are the angels to come and help me? For now my day has come, and I have no one. Is there anyone to come and help me? Is there anyone to come and help me? And to answer this poem, I want you all to raise your hands as high as you can, please, as high as you can. I want you to cry Labbaik ya Hussein as loud as you can, inshallah, 5 times. Labbaik ya Hussein! 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 Sent, Ahsan. Salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. I'd like to thank the organizers for allowing me to have the honor of serving you all. Alhamdulillah, I've been honored to serve all of you at this great event, the event of the Evening of Grief and Sorrow every year, alhamdulillah, and it's absolutely an honor. A trend that I've set for myself every Evening of Grief and Sorrow is that I always read about the walk to Imam Hussein in Arba'in, always. And I always say the same thing when I begin this poem. I always say that I do not believe that the walk to Arba'in is something that you have to think about. I understand that some people, for example, have things that keep them down. Maybe they have work, maybe they have school and etc. But I just believe firmly that, especially if you're not tied down by anything, what you need to do now, as soon as the event finishes, is book your ticket and go straight to Karbala. Especially this year. Because this year, ISIS are going to see what the Shia are going to do. This year, every hater of Imam Hussein, every single person that does not want the Shia to succeed, every single person that, forget the Shia, that does not want to see freedom and justice and peace succeed, is looking at the Shia this year in Karbala to see if they'll walk to Imam Hussein. Last year, 19 million walked to Imam Hussein. And I swear to God, this year, if that number lowers from 19 million, we have done a disservice to Imam Hussein. We are ashamed in the eyes of Imam Hussein. Someone once told me, I will never go to Ziyarah for Iraq. I said, why? He said, it's too dangerous. I said, Imam Hussein does not want you to come when it's safe. He wants you to come when it's dangerous. It's like, for example, he saw that person on the way to Ashura. He said, I want you to come and help me in my army. The man said, to be honest with you, oh Imam, I can't come and help you, but I'll give you my sword. He said, I don't want your sword. I'll give you my horse. I don't want your horse. I'll give you money. I don't want your money. I want you to come. He said, no, I'm sorry. And before I read this poem, I know I've gone over my limit, but I just want to introduce this poem. I just want to tell this story that beautifully summarizes everything that I'm saying. And it's a beautiful story. In Karbala, there was a bombing not far from the shrine. And of course, with every bombing, there are people that are martyred, there are people that have died, and there are injured people as well. Amongst these martyrs, amongst these the people that were there, amongst the wounded was a doctor, let's say about my age, maybe a bit younger, a bit older. A very successful doctor, married with 2 kids, and he was amongst all this commotion. After the bomb went off, there were some people dead, some people wounded, and he went absolutely ballistic. He lost his mind. He started hitting himself and crying and despairing. Someone saw him, the person who's narrating this story, he saw him, and he said, of course, it was a tragedy, but you should never despair in the hope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it's haram. Unless it's for Imam Hussein, you should never despair when you have a tragedy on your life. It's haram. So he went to him, he calmed down, I said, listen, alhamdulillah, don't despair. Alhamdulillah, you're okay. You know, you're not hurt. You've still got your wife, you've still got your kids, you're okay, you can go back to them. He said, that's not why I'm crying. He said, why are you crying? He said, the minute the bomb went off, we saw Imam Hussein in front of us. Imam Hussein came to each and every single one of us. He said, are you coming with me? The man said, yes. Are you coming with me? Yes. Are you coming with me? Yes. Are you coming with me? Yes. He came to me, he said, are you coming with me? I said, to be honest with you, Imam, I'm married, I've got a job, I've got kids. Then I woke up, I saw all those people were dead, and here I still am. That's why I despair. Let's not be of those people this year. Imam wants you to go to Arba'in. Do not think about it. Don't think about it. Book and go. Walk to Imam Hussein. He wants to see you this year. If you go every year and don't go now because you're afraid of danger, to be completely honest with you, I don't know how the Imam will look at you. He does not want you to come when it's safe. He wants you to come when it's dangerous. Starting from the day of Ashura, we say 40 days and counting. Karbala, we are coming. We're walking because in our eyes, he is priceless. We are walking because anything else is worthless. His 40th comes and the heavens hear a call. Descends on Karbala, each lover an angel. The father leaves behind his wife, children and all. The father leaves behind his wife, children and all. The mother carries the children that barely crawl. Men swear by their women, women by their children. No death on this road will bring to us distress. Descends upon her dust every nationality. The only language is that of the lovers of Ali. The father tells the son, get dressed and get ready. Forget your nation, today you're Karbala'i. Forget your nation, today you are Karbala'i. Every road to her bends, the millions descend, no fear. Almost in the face of death, almost in the face of death, careless. The call of the man who serves Karbala's water. Drink Abu Ali's water and curse Harmala. Fatima watches, of who do we remind her? Fatima watches, of who do we remind her? Qasim, Layla, Abdullah and Ali al-Akbar. Both the young and the old. Every hand her hand holds. She breathes breath into the one who is breathless. And he who serves us food, who does he see behind him? The man who serves us food, who does he see behind him? He sees on his feet pouring the food is Qasim. He sees on his feet pouring the food is Qasim. When they reach Karbala's border, who is it that welcomes them? Abbas cries out, O servants of Hussein, welcome his brothers by his side. His mother cries in pride, Abbas, bring me one of their children to kiss. When to carry her child, she is unable. The mother pulls her son in a makeshift cradle. The old who cannot walk because their legs are unstable finds their wheelchairs pushed by all those capable. Both the rich and the poor walking to the same door, all one. He who is poor finds himself needless. And I see a young flag, I see a young goal, I see a young girl, and the flag she is holding, she reminds me of Ruqayya. I start crying. I see a woman at the roadside, she is standing. She reminds me of Zaynab for Abbas waiting. She stands there all alone, cries, even hearts of stone. The tears that flow, watching these things are endless. Upon this road, whilst walking, I learnt a lesson. Upon this road, whilst walking, I learnt a lesson. What? Never look back when Hussein's your destination. Never look back when Hussein's your destination. I have Hussein, therefore nothing else is my concern. All that we go through life is petty. It's petty, honestly. I have Hussein, therefore nothing else is my concern. Be by me or don't be. Be by me or don't me. To my beloved I return. Catch up or lag behind. Beside Hussein, me, you'll find my life belongs to him. He isn't worth less. And when with the millions on his grave, I descend, I'll say, O Hussein, I walked all of this way to peace upon you send. The beauty of this walk, only you comprehend, wallah. The beauty of this walk, only you comprehend. And I shall return every year until my life's end. I shall return every year until my life's end. Till I'm old and frail, I'll walk on this trail yearly in the dress of death. For you I'll dress. I'm walking because everything else is worthless. I'm walking because everything else is worthless. Thank you very much for listening. Please do forgive us for our shortcomings. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Aflaha man salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
We mentioned Kareem Ahlulbayt. Kareem Ahlulbayt. When we list the merits, the attributes, the characteristics of the Ahlulbayt alayhimus salam, amongst many of them is always charitable. And we understand the extent to which they were charitable. Thus I ask you, just how charitable must have Imam al-Hassan been if he was given the title of Kareem Ahlul Bayt? Never forget Al-Hassan alayhi salam. And just a very brief narration as to how he illustrated his his mercy, if you like, for the people. There was a time when he was walking in the streets and he came across some men who were feeding on some crumbs that they found on the floor. And these men invited the Imam, son of Ali, son of Fatima, grandson of Rasulullah and Khadija. These men invite him to come and sit with them to eat. Tell me of a ruler nowadays who will suffice for anything less than 3 meals whilst they're sitting on a chair, let alone crumbs with people that they don't know sitting on the roadside. And of course, Al-Hassan alayhi salam, he agreed and he sat down. And he said something quite beautiful. He said, certainly Allah does not like the proud. Certainly Allah does not like the proud. But he goes further. And I discussed this in a majlis yesterday where we said that we can reach the level of the companions of Ahl Muhammad. We can reach the level where we can emulate some of their characteristics, but we need to be going that step further. And Al-Hassan alayhi salam does exactly this. Having sat down and eaten with the males that were on the side of the road with those crumbs, despite the level that he was at, although he would never admit it, he then invited these men back to his own home and gave them money, and he fed them further, and he gave them everything that they needed. Al-Hassan inviting people that he may have never seen before, not people that were high up in the society at the time, yet such was the generosity of Al-Hassan. Inshallah, that is something that we can take away from today. Alhamdulillah, we have heard 2 inspiring and emotionally captivating spoken word poets, and now we will hear from the beautiful voice, the voice of the Ahlulbayt's praises and sombre, inshallah, in the voice of Muhammad Abbas Kareem. Please welcome him with a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Where are you? Come, your mother is calling for you. Oh, my asghar, where are you? Come, your mother is calling for you. The skies are darkening, the desert is cold. Gone is my baby, just 6 months old. Gone is my baby, just 6 months old. I cannot find him anywhere. Come, your mother is calling for you. Oh, my asghar, oh, my asghar, where are you? Come, your mother is calling for you. You were so thirsty, your tongue so dry. We couldn't fetch you water, though we did try. We couldn't fetch you water, though we did try. Is your thirst quenched now, oh beloved one? Come, your mother is calling for you. Oh, my asghar, oh, my asghar, where are you? Come, your mother is calling for you. When Karbala aimed his arrow at you, did he know that he wounded me too? When Karbala aimed his arrow at you, did he know that he wounded me too? My heart is broken, oh, where are asghar, where are you? Come, your mother is calling for you. How can I leave you in Karbala, the youngest martyr on Ashura? How can I leave you in Karbala, the youngest martyr on Ashura? How can my baby sleep in the sand? Come, your mother is calling for you. Oh my asghar, oh my asghar, where are you? Come, your mother is calling for you. How can I go back to Medina? What will I say to your sister Sughra? What will I say to your sister Sughra? What will I do now my baby's gone? Come, your mother is calling for you. Oh my asghar, oh my asghar, where are you? Come, your mother is calling for you. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab. They dragged you through Kufa and Sham and snatched your veil away. They dragged you through Kufa and Sham and snatched your veil away. Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Al-Masa'ib, ya Zayn. Oh, flower of Hashim, alone you are. Remember Abbas protected you are. Your father said this day would come when they would take your veil away. Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab. You sacrificed your own and Muhammad. You did not shed one tear for them. You struggled selflessly, you fought in pain. You struggled selflessly, you fought bravely. You kept your promise to Husain. Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab. Your brother's head on a spear, pain and anguish so unbearable. Patience, forbearance, you are Zaynab, daughter of Ali and Fatima. Al-Masa'ib, ya Zaynab, أم المصايب يا زينب أم المصايب يا زينب أم المصايب يا زينب. You stood your ground in the court. You spoke like your father. Yazid trembled, scared he was of your pure words. He tried to silence you, he failed in vain. Al-Masayib ya Zaynab, Al-Masayib ya Zaynab, Al-Masayib ya Zaynab, Al-Masayib ya Zaynab. Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat.
Imam al-Hassan has said, he who trusts whatever Allah has chosen for him to be good, he who trusts whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen for him to be good will never wish to be in any situation other than what Allah has given to him. Summary: any position that you are in now, financial difficulty or financial success, family relation-based issues, or a loving family at large, whatever the case, if you have true conviction in knowing and faith that Allah is only going to give you what is best for you, then you will never be upset in the position that you are in. And inshallah, we welcome our final reciter before we go on to the Masa'ib, none other than Shabir Tajani. Please welcome him with a salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Even if they cut my body, even if they cut my body into 1,000 pieces, each piece will call your name, Husain, your name, Hussein, your name, Hussein. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Inshallah, I want to present two poems which will take us back to the day of Ashura. I heard in a majlis once that one of the narrators, one of the people who was there in Karbala, was asked, if there was one moment that you could pick that broke your heart as you were watching on, what was it? He replied and he said, it was the final embrace between Imam al-Hussein and his beloved daughter Sakina. This got me thinking, and I was wondering, what's the difference between this event and any other on that day? I mean, Hussein saw his whole family massacred, and he went under the blade of Shimr himself. I was trying to work out what was so special about this event, this occasion, and it was only when I went to the Dhari' of Sayyidah Sakina did the answer come to me. You see, in Karbala, we experience every sort of human emotion. We experience every element of family dynamic, whether it's between a brother and a brother, a child and a mother. But you see, there is a special relationship between a father and a daughter. Whenever a daughter is in trouble, a father will come in front of her and protect her. When Husain came down from that horse on the day of Ashura and he looked down into the eyes of his daughter,
He saw every whip that she would be taking. He saw every slap on her face. But you see, no one knows what those final words were between the father and the daughter. Only one can imagine. This poet is wondering whether Sakina turned around to her father and said, "Father, I am the daughter of you. I am the niece of Abul Fadl al-Abbas. I'm the granddaughter of Ali. I can take this pain." She says, "Father, you know, our fate is not so different. In the same way that you will be bloodied and you will be bruised, you will be beaten, I will go through the same. In the same way you will be buried without a shroud, I will be also buried without a shroud. There's only one difference, oh my father. Whilst you have 72 of your loved ones around you, I will be buried thousands of miles away in a dungeon with no one around me. And even today, in that dungeon where Sakina lays, where not even the light gets in, you can hear this voice from her. No matter what trials I faced, the memory won't be erased. Oh Father, the final embrace, I will not forget that day, or the moment that we parted ways. Oh Father, the final embrace in the desert where you would die. We cried in each other's arms, 'cause forever we would be apart. My fate would be the prison of Sham. We both will be bloodied and bruised and buried without a shroud. The only difference is I will have no loved ones around. A dark and secluded jail is my ultimate resting place. Oh Father, the final embrace, I crawled on my hands and knees and clung on to your horse's hooves. I cried and I pleaded with him to stay still and not to move. Please don't take my father away. I can't sleep without his chest. He has been left all alone. Please don't take him to his death. He is broken and wounded and thirsty for many days. Oh Father, the final embrace. Oh Father, the final embrace. You got off your horse and smiled, then opened your arms to me. I ran into your embrace and held you so lovingly. I said, if you have to go, I have got one last request. For only a little while, please let me sleep on your chest. You laid on the burning sands without uttering a phrase. Oh Father, the final embrace. I placed my head on your chest, and as my eyes shut, I saw a lady dressed all in black.
She cried out, let my son go. He may cradle you right now, but soon I will cradle him when he falls from that great height and brutally will be killed. I got off immediately. With tears in my eyes I said, oh Father, the final embrace. In the palace you pure head. We're going to Sham now. In the palace your pure head was placed on the balcony. Let's see how strong your love is. The tyrant said mockingly, with my tiny hands in chains, I open them out to you. Your head came into my arms, and no one knew what to do. I smiled lovingly at you and placed my cheeks on your face. Oh Father, the final embrace. Now we're getting to the end of the journey. The dark nights of the prison, a place I will not forget. In my final moments there, I missed you so much and wept to silence my endless cries. Your killers returned your hand. I held your head to my chest. And I then shut my eyes and slept. My heart finally my heart finally at peace. I never awoke again. Oh Father, the final embrace. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Zaynab stands there and looks on at Husain. Upon a rose, Husain lays there. He cries and says, turn your face away. You won't be able to bear my pain. 12 strikes to the neck of Husain as his soul departs. He looks up and says, oh Allah, I gave you everything that I had. If I had to, I'd do it again. Hussein looks in to his killer's eyes as he sits on his chest with a blunted knife. He takes the knife to the throat of Husain. He hacks away at his neck again and again. Listen, listen, listen. Husain looks into his killer's eyes as he sits on his chest with a blunted knife. He takes the knife to the throat of Husain. He hacks away at his neck again and again. He pulls Husain by his bloody beard. With the blood of Husain, his face is smeared. He laughs and says that your end is near. But Husain says, I have never feared. 12 strikes to the neck of Hussein. As his soul departs, he looks up and says, Oh Allah, I gave you everything that I have. If I had to, I'd do it again. The blazing sun, 3 days of thirst, not a drop of water for any of us. I saw my 6-month-old in such distress, drifting in and out of consciousness. In the grief of my son, I lost my sight. I crawled on the sands to be by his side. I will never forget his final cries as I pull that spear from his insides. 12 strikes to the neck of Husain as his soul departs. He looks up and says, Oh Allah, I gave you everything that I have. If I had to, I'd do it again. A voice is heard around these plains as a lady embraces the head of Husain. She cries aloud a neck on his head. I'm his mother, cut my neck instead. She cries aloud, puts her neck on his head. I'm his mother, cut my neck instead. It's the final strike and Hussein's last breath. It's the final strike and Hussein's last breath. He thanks Allah as he meets his death. Lady Zahra cries with a broken heart as the head and the body come apart, as the head and the body come apart. صلوا على محمد وعلى